Time now for Media Watch, a look at what's been making news in the Chinese media. China's southern city of Guangzhou risks being buried under a pile of garbage. Website ce.cn reports that the metropolis produces more than 10,000 tons of trash every single day, but its two biggest landfills are expected to be full by 2012. Authorities say the solution lies in incinerator plants, which provide the most effective way of garbage disposal. Incinerators have been criticised by green groups in the past, but the city government has promised to coordinate with environmental protection organisations to ensure the plants will be ecologically sound. China's State Film Bureau, or SFB, says box office figures in the country are being inflated by some film producers. The China Daily gives the example of the animated movie Astro Boy, which producers claimed had raked in almost $6 million on its opening weekend. But the SFB said it was less than half that amount, about $2.5 million. An industry insider said film companies tend to inflate box office figures to attract more viewers, while theatres often reduce them to pay less tax. The SFB figures come directly from ticket sales machines across the country. Mao Yu, the vice president of the SFB, said inflated box office figures was a short-sighted marketing ploy which would damage the reputation of the entire industry. Beijing residents are enjoying the best the city has had for 11 years. That's according to the China Daily, which reports the capital hit its 2009 target of 260 blue sky days, 41 days before the end of the year. The City Environmental Protection Bureau said the results were due to determined efforts, strict measures and good weather. However, many environmentalists say the current standards, which officially define a blue sky day, are too low. The US Embassy in Beijing has its own air monitoring system, which uses different criteria and frequently warns of unhealthy conditions, while official figures show blue sky days. For example, the paper says Friday was generally unhealthy according to the embassy's Twitter feed, but the capital's Environmental Protection Bureau classified it as a blue sky day. The Beijing Times reports that Dalong Estate, a property developer owned by Beijing's Shunyi district government, has paid over 5 billion yuan, that's around $740 million, for a parcel of residential land in the capital's northeastern suburbs. The initial bidding price for the plot was just $210 million. The low-density housing lot comprises about 130 acres, with a planned construction area of just over 4 acres. The area costs work out at nearly $410 per square foot, a record unit price for a residential site on the Chinese mainland. The paper says the land will be used to build upmarket villas. Shunyi district is located not far from Beijing's main airport in northeastern Beijing and is renowned for its exclusive residential compounds, expensive international schools and large number of expat residents. News now of a worrying report on counterfeit condoms. Sina.com says there's a rampant spread of knockoff prophylactics that offer little or no protection despite being labelled with quality brand names. Police said they've yet to track down about 1 million fake condoms which have already been distributed throughout the country. More than 2 billion condoms are used annually in China. The brands copied are often reputable foreign makes, with reports that a third of condoms in some areas are bogus. Officials say the best way to avoid getting a phony rubber is to stick to supermarkets or pharmacies. A retired teacher from southern China was seriously injured recently when he put his hand inside a tiger's cage to stroke the animal at a circus in Nankang in Jiangxi province. The Jiangnan Metropolis Daily says the 61-year-old, named only as Ju, said he wanted to stroke the tiger's fur, but when he tried to do so, the animal grabbed his hand in his teeth and severed 4 of his fingers. Ju fainted on the spot and was taken to hospital for treatment. Circus officials paid him 3,500 yuan in compensation. That's about $126 per finger. Sina.com reports on the upcoming auction of a very special piano. The so-called Olympic crystal piano was made especially for top Chinese pianist Lang Lang to play during the Olympic Games opening ceremony in 2008. Auctioneers have placed a reserve price of almost $1.5 million on the piano, but the combination of Lang Lang's popularity and interest in Olympic-related items at recent auctions mean the organisers have high hopes that the unique instrument could fetch up to $4 million. An unusual exhibition has opened in China's southeastern Fujian province. ChinaNews.com says the event, called Touch Feel, showcases replicas of sculpture masterpieces from the world-famous Louvre Museum in Paris, But don't expect to see the usual "please don't touch" signs here. Quite the opposite. The public, and especially people with poor eyesight, are in fact encouraged to use their fingers to explore the items on display. One of the highlights of the exhibition is a replica of the famous Vino de Milo from the Louvre. Rednet.com has the story of a hungry 16-year-old who managed to gobble up 92 jiaozi, or Chinese dumplings, in just 15 minutes to win an eating contest in the central city of Changsha. Peng Shilian, who's a high school student and weighs in at a whopping 320 pounds. He's the youngest ever winner of the competition. Peng said if given another chance, he's confident of topping the century mark next time. And that's today's Media Watch. In fact, that's all for the team here at BON News. Thanks for watching.